Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to Moorish Talk Live 100. I'm your host, Tarhaka Amana El Bay, and tonight's presentation will be relationships, numbers, and the Zodiac. We'll be dealing with the following questions. Why is having this information important before investing in a relationship? Where did this type of information come from in the first place? Why do so many relationships just crash and burn? According to this information, who are you? How often do numbers lie? Should we also use this information in business? Well, these are just a few of the questions that we're going to answer here tonight. And we want to try to straighten out some fallacies about this stuff, because a lot of people, they've heard a lot about it, but a lot of people just can't wrap their head around this information. And a lot of people are still going around believing in stuff instead of dealing with science. Now, I've been studying this stuff for a long time, and I'm here to tell you it works for me. I don't waste a whole lot of time, and I don't invest in nothing that ain't going nowhere. And it's all thanks to my ancestors putting this information out a long time ago. Took me a while to get it right, and went through a whole lot of ins and outs and ups and downs, and finally I decided, hey man, let me take another look at this thing and try to use it in my life to see how this stuff gonna come out. We're going to the commercials. We'll be right back, and we're ready to dig in. Y'all hold your hat for a minute, okay? Just sit tight. The greatest move you can make beginning in 2022 is to move out of the public and into the private. That's how you get rid of student loans, child support, mortgages, foreclosures, and all this kind of business. Go to TarhakaDebtElimination.org. That's TarhakaDebtElimination.org. Fill out my Contact Us form by leaving your email address, and I'll rush my free report straight to your email box. Our economy is in shambles today for people who insist on living in the public. Move into the private. Make an easy transaction. Go to www.TarhakaDebtElimination.org. That's TarhakaDebtElimination.org. Fill out the Contact Us form, and I'll rush you my free report. Okay, now we'll run the rest of the commercials later on in the broadcast. But what I want to do, the first thing that I want to do involving this numerology and the Zodiac, is we want to deal with its true origins, okay? Where it came from for real. And so we want to get that down, and then we want to straighten out this calendar business too, because if you got to go Gregorian calendar, you got to, you're going by that, you got to be dealing with a 1260 1320 frequency of time. We need to know how to deal with that stuff. I've already put this information out, but right now we're going to deal with some truth behind the origin of where this information comes from. Okay, so y'all sit tight, and we will be right back.
Peace. Welcome to the breakdown. I'm your host, Clarity. Now, Zodiac signs, they're everywhere, right? In movies, TV, online, and even walking down the street. Some people represent hard for theirs. Shout out to Libras, I got my scale. Whether it's with jewelry, tattoos, whatever else they could think of, really. Now, some of these people take it really personally, too, if you guess the wrong sign. I ain't no damn Sagittarius. Do I look like a Capricorn to you? Yeah. But with all that being said, what exactly is Greek astrology anyway? And what are these signs really based on? And what are the African origins of this idea? You know we're going to get into that and more right now on The Breakdown. The Breakdown. Tell me what you see.
It's a question almost everyone is asked at one point or another. And most of us know the answer. But what exactly are zodiac signs? Why do we have them? And what are the African origins of these ideas?
Astrology is nothing but a Greek word that means knowledge of the stars. Astrologos means knowledge of the stars. Ancient African people were the first people to observe the heavens and to chronicle their observations. What we find when we study the history of ancient Africans in the Nile Valley is that was the epicenter of culture, science, technology, and civilization.
At the heart of this epicenter was a peaceful, affluent, and deeply spiritual society that valued high-level scientific thinking. They studied everything in their environment, on planet Earth and beyond.
Prior to the advent of electricity, when the sun went down, people went to sleep. During the day, the sun was the primary principle which guided people's lives, so the sun became associated with God or the Creator. And then once people were no longer working, were no longer hunting, were no longer building shelter, they had time to sit back and just stare up at the sky, stare up at the stars. And they began to notice some particular patterns as they observed the heavens. They noticed that the stars followed the same movement as the sun, moving from east to west. They saw the moon, and they noticed that the moon's cycle was similar to the woman's cycle. And they began to see patterns in life, patterns in the heavens and patterns on earth. And so they were able then to define time. They divided the day into 24 hours. They divided the year into 365 and a quarter days.
They also accurately calculated the circumference of the Earth. In the ancient world, Kemet was the primary source of both scientific knowledge and spiritual enlightenment.
Ancient Kemet was the place to be, and anyone who had the resources sought to come to Kemet from any corner of the world.
Modern astrology is mostly based on the writings of the 2nd century Greek scientist Claudius Ptolemy. His 4-volume work, the Tetrabiblos, represented everything the ancient Greeks knew about astrology, and ancient Greece was the foundation of advanced scientific and spiritual thought throughout Europe. But like his predecessors Socrates and Pythagoras, Ptolemy spent decades in Kemet studying at the feet of African scholars. Because thousands of years before the existence of Greece, Africans in the Nile Valley were the fathers and mothers of advanced scientific and spiritual ideas and practices. These African people birthed writing, mathematics, philosophy, art, medicine, architecture, and advanced sciences like biology, chemistry, and astronomy.
So the Greeks came, the Romans came, the Hebrews came, and many of these groups came without knowledge of science, philosophy, or religion, but based on their interactions with the indigenous African scientists and priests and priestesses, they then left the Nile Valley with the foundation upon which they could create their way through the world.
Most visitors to Kemet were humble, students grateful to be taught by the masters and return to their homelands to share what they had learned. But others, like the Greek general Alexander of Macedon, were not satisfied with merely receiving knowledge from Kemet. Instead, they wanted to control the entire African civilization. So after more than 3,000 years of relative peace and prosperity, Kemet was invaded and overtaken by Greece. They renamed it Egypt, and thousands of years of African knowledge was taken under European control.
The Greeks became the inheritors of the science, of the architecture, of the art, of the astronomy. So when we think of astrology, when we think of people's astrological signs, that is rooted in some real science. And with the Greeks' limited understanding of the African high science, they then tried to decipher it as best they could. So this high African astronomical science became, to the Greeks, astrology. All the Greeks did was copy what they saw in Africa. The Greeks also said that all of the gods and goddesses of Greece had to return to Ethiopia once a year to renew their powers, lest they become mortal. So once you have this historical framework, you can then go back and look at the Greek gods and break them down to their African original prototypes. Astrology is to astronomy what religion is to spirituality. It is the source from which this powerful knowledge sprang, but it is interpreted differently by people who didn't have the depth of the knowledge as those who created the original source material.
Many of these African astrological concepts were incorporated into European religious practices. African spirituality and imagery was so highly revered in Greece that in many cases, even the original African names of deities were barely changed.
African personalities of Asar, Aset, and Heru were studied by the Greeks, and they became known as Osiris, they became known as Isis, they became known as Horus.
In some cases, even the African written language was taken and used directly by the Greeks. For example, the zodiac symbol for Greek water-carrying god Aquarius is the exact same unchanged symbol for water as written in the ancient African language called Medu-Neter, or what the Greeks called hieroglyphics.
With their limited understanding, they tried as best they could to delve into the minds of these ancient Africans.
Popular motifs borrowed from ancient Kemet include images of Ma'at, a Neter or deity who took the form of scales and governed fairness and balance. Another popular image was the Neter Asar, often depicted as a bull. Shu and Tefnut were divine twins. Serket was a healer who could cure the sting of a scorpion and was often depicted with one on her head. The circular zodiac at the Temple of Het-Heru in Dendera, Egypt, contains the Greek versions of these ideas, along with their original Kemetic inspirations, several of whom are concepts the Greeks would have encountered only in Africa. Leo the lion, for example, is a species which is not native to Greece, but is native to Africa.
On the outer part of that zodiac, in the ceiling of the Temple of Het-Heru, there you have the zodiac symbols that we're most familiar with. Those are the Greek, but on the outer part, you have the Kemetic zodiac, and those are the ones that, unfortunately, many of us don't know.
And you'll see the circular zodiac, but there are 6 of the zodiacs throughout this temple, so that lets us know that it had a great connection with the early astrophysicists who were actually mapping out the stars. After all, the temple does go back to the Shemsu Heru. They laid out the whole Giza Plateau based off of their observation of the cosmos. We see the zodiac as well. See Scorpio, to see the Centaur, Sagittarius. These are the Greek signs. These are not the Kemetic signs. Because why is it Greek now? Because they usurped it.
So how does the person of African descent approach the Greek zodiac differently once they learn the Greek ideas came from African people in the first place?
We can now stand on the knowledge of our ancestors, which is what we're doing right now by reclaiming the knowledge of the Nile Valley and associating the Nile Valley with Africa. It is the oldest presence of science, history, culture, knowledge, and philosophy of any people on the planet. That is our African heritage. That is our legacy. We are connected to over 10,000 generations of African greatness. That knowledge resides in you.
Mm-hmm. People of African descent have the longest, richest history of any group of people on planet Earth. By studying our own history, we can find out many of these answers about ourselves that we've been searching for. And we can also recognize our ancestors' work when we see it. But that's it for now. I'm Clarity, and I'll see you next time on The Breakdown.
All right.
The Breakdown.
Okay. There it is. Keep in mind, the same sciences was on both sides of the Atlantic. Don't forget what you learned in our previous broadcast now. This is, you got pyramids all over the Americas. You still got some places over here with Egyptian names, Kemetic names, all down up in the Grand Canyon, off the coast of Florida, off the coast of Bimini, all over here. So this science ain't brand new. This is old stuff. But let's get on down into brass tacks, because what I'm going to do, and I'm going to label this as part 1, because I got to come back with part 2. And this time, next time I come back, I'm going to bring a guest with me. And we're going to chop it up on this thing, but I'm going to give you a breakdown on how to use this science, or how I use it successfully. And you can do anything you want to do, but when it comes down to brass tacks, then you want to use what you know for a fact that works for you. Okay? That's what I do. Okay, now let's take myself for instance. All right. Matter of fact, since we in the month of Leo, let's deal with uh, Leo. Okay, y'all just hold on here for a second. We're gonna deal with the zodiac part of this here thing first. Okay, we ain't gonna get into the numbers until later. We're gonna start with the top of the zodiac. We're gonna deal with Leo, since we're in the month of August. And let me see here now. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I should have had this thing. I missed a step. We're going to deal directly with Leo. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Got you right over here. Okay. Okay. Got you right here. We're going to say you born in the month of Leo, and you born in the year of the ox, or the bison, or the buffalo. Okay? So we got that part straight. Now you got the month you was born in and the year you was born in. Okay? But now when it comes to your relationships and your compatibilities, okay, that's the next step we're going to deal with, and your interaction with people that you run into. Now it says right here, it says green light for people born in rat years, snake years, and rooster years of the Aries, Gemini, and Libra, and Sagittarius, and Capricorn class. Scorpio and Taurus dragons are off limits for you, as well as Scorpio and Aquarius, Tigers, and ghosts. Taurus monkeys annoy you with their eternal antics. Okay, so now we know what we got right here, who you supposed to be going for. But the question should be at this point is which ones. Okay, if I got a green light for people born in rat years, people born in snake years, people born in rooster years. Okay, and they'll have to be a Aries, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, or Capricorn. You got that part. So if we get Aries, rat, snakes, roosters, then we good. We get a Gemini, rat, snakes, roosters, we good. But which one? Let's do the math, okay? We're going to say that you was born on, we'll say, August we'll say you were born on August the 5th, 1961. To show you how this works. August the 5th, 1961. So we only want to simply do so because we got the month right, we got the year right. But let's go in here and get the math right. Okay? August the 5th. So that'll be 8th month plus the 5th day plus ox year will be 1961. It's 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 1, and that will equal 30. Okay? So we give it a breakdown. You always got to go down to a single digit. So now you're going to add 3 plus 0. 3 plus 0 is 3. So now if you run into your correct month, correct year, and you do the math on adding all the numbers together, the 8th month, the 5th day, and 1961, you're gonna come up with the number 3 when you do break it down to the number 3. So now when we look at the natural numbers of 3, you got 3 numbers to choose from in either one of those signs. You're either looking for a 3 or a 6 or 9. Now let me clarify that for you. When you are born in the month of August, that's the 8th month. You're born on the 5th day, and then you're born in the year 1961. So we want to add all these numbers together, and we come up with a total of 30. But we're going to break it down to its lowest term by adding 3 plus 0. 3 plus 0 is 3. So that is your life path number. That's the number 3. So what other numbers are you looking for? If you're number 3, the only 3 numbers that you could be looking for, with anyone that you're going to get serious about it, invest in, they got to either be a 3 or 6 or 9. 3, 6, 9. You got it? Now your challenge numbers for the 3, 6, 9, the numbers that you're going to be challenged the most, you're going to have the hardest time with, are people whose numbers are broke down to 4 or 7 or 8. Because see, you can get with let's say you a Leo, and you get with a we're going to say that you get with a, we'll say Aries rat, or Gemini snake, or Libra rooster. Okay, you got the month right, you got the year right. So what you got to look at is the date. When you put all the numbers together, the total is got to end up being broke down to a number 3 or 6 or 9. If you add all those numbers up, even though you got the month and the year right, and you get a 2 or 5 or 7 or 8 or 4, and one of them numbers come out, it ain't going to work. You got the wrong formula. Okay? You had to have the whole package in order for it to work out right for you. If you your natural number is 2, then you're looking for a 2, 4, 8. Challenge number would be 1, 3, 6, and 9. If your natural number ends up being 1, then you're 1, 5, 7. Challenge numbers will be 4 and 6. Okay? And this is the way the science works. And if you can take your time and learn this stuff, you can use this stuff because we got a whole lot of people, and they're looking at the fact, well, me and her, we are compatible monthly, and we compatible yearly, and she born in the right month and born in the right year, but we still, something ain't right. That's because the numbers ain't right, and numbers don't lie. Okay, you got to get the whole package. So let's take a look at the calendar, because right now we got the Gregorian calendar. So we're going to look at the calendar situation and dip down in that. Keep in mind, the number to dial into this broadcast is 515-605-9757. So we're going to go over here and take a look at this calendar situation, get that thing straightened out. And keep in mind, we're just doing part 1. We're going to come back with, I guess, we're going to chop this thing up and at a later date. But right now, we're trying to get the foundation of this stuff down. And I want y'all to learn this stuff because I'm going to tell you, it works for me. I don't make no bad investments in women. I don't care. I mean, she could be as beautiful as all get at. But I want the math by making major investments. And the reason I got to do that is because the cemetery is full of people that made the wrong choice. The hospital is full of people, stab wounds, gunshot wounds, all kind of stuff that's going on because 2 people are the wrong 2 people with each other because they ain't done the science daily. But nevertheless, here we go. Let's take a look at this calendar situation. Y'all hold your hat and we'll be right back, okay?
The origins of the astrological systems that we use today originally trace back to pre-dynastic Egyptian civilizations, or otherwise known as Kemet. Ancient artifacts from Kemet can be found in museums around Europe. For instance, the Louvre Museum in Paris holds the Dendera zodiac that was originally engraved on the ceiling of the entranceway to the sacred temple of Heter in Dendera. Dendera is a small town in Egypt situated on the west bank of the Nile. The Dendera zodiac, or the African calendar, is the foundation of modern-day astronomy systems that we all use today. But the majority of us in the southern hemisphere have been reading it incorrectly for hundreds of years. The one aspect of it that we all seem to be familiar with is that the zodiac is represented by a circle. This circle is derived from the Dendera calendar that was taken from Kemet. The invasion of Egypt by France in 1798 was led by the French military leader Napoleon, who was accompanied by an entourage of about 150 prominent scholars and scientists. Over the 20-year period of their invasion, these scholars examined and meticulously documented almost every aspect of contemporary and ancient Egyptian civilization, compiling 20 volumes of texts and plates, the most comprehensive record and inventory of Egypt's landscape, monuments, and people to this day. One of these artists traced drawings of the Kemetic zodiac and went back to France to publish his drawings in 1802. Then, in 1822, an antique thief named Claude Le Lorraine used gunpowder, swords, and explosives to remove the zodiac from the temple in Dendera, and he brought it back to France and sold it to the king for about 150,000 francs, and it was put on display. Today it can be found in the Louvre Museum in Paris in the Egyptian Antiques exhibit, amongst several other stolen artifacts from Kemet. The initial study of the Dendera zodiac by French scholars and archaeologists revealed that it predated the biblical date of creation by thousands of years, which became very troublesome for the institution of the Catholic Church. France's most prominent Egyptologist during the reign of Napoleon was called upon to examine the artifacts surrounding the zodiac, which he then estimated to come from a time period between 100 and 20 BC, which brought it much closer to either the Ptolemaic or the Augustan time period, which was much more convenient for the church. Champollion's opinion was highly respected, since he was the first to decipher the hieroglyphics on the Rosetta Stone, which was pretty much the genesis of Egyptology, the foundation of the study of Egyptian civilization. Champollion's claim that the Dendera zodiac is younger than 15,000 years was a debate that went on for a very long time, because other archaeologists who had been analyzing the Dendera zodiac had multiple reasons to believe that Egyptian civilization was older than the church sanctioned dates of creation, which dated the earth at about 6,000 years old. The Pope was super grateful to Champollion because his revision of the time of origin of the Dendera zodiac removed suspicion from the church and restored faith in it. So the Pope offered to make Champollion cardinal of the church despite the fact that he was an atheist. Astronomy and the zodiac as we understand it today were developed from this Kemetic diagram of the constellations that they took from the temple of Heter. All of the texts from the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egyptian history that elaborated on astrological concepts were all developed from this model of the zodiac written by our ancestors in Kemet. Western astronomers found ways to make it relevant to their own ways of life by changing the names of the deities and changing some of the references made to the constellations, but the core of it has remained the same through the ages. For instance, the elemental components of the astrological signs, as we know them today, still correlate with the natural components of the deities within the time frames of those signs. Like I mentioned in the Gep season video, the season of Gep is now referred to as Virgo season. Virgo season still occurs within the same time frame as the season of Gep, even after they shifted the times of the months. So even when they shifted the times of the 12 months, they could not justify shifting the time frames of the astrological seasons. So the 12 astrological seasons still occur within the same time frame as the original seasons of the deities in Kemet. And even though the names were changed, the characteristics of those seasons still remain the same. For instance, Gep season is now referred to as Virgo season. Virgo is an earth element. Gep is god of the earth. All of the signs and their characteristics trace back to the original Kemetic diagram and its principles. I explained some of these seasons individually on Girlboss SA YouTube. I'll put some of the links below in the description for the videos that I've done so far. It's generally quite easy to decipher the origins of the zodiac once you can identify the basics of the original Kemetic calendar. The key to reading this calendar is to first locate the cardinal points of north, south, east, and west, because these cardinal points mark the equinoxes and solstices. The key lies in the circle found between Scorpio and Sagittarius, containing 8 men seated on their knees with their hands behind their backs, carrying what is said to be the zodiac itself on their backs. The northward direction of their spine represents the northern direction of the calendar, so we know that their heads are directed north. East and west are marked by the equinoxes, which represent the rising and the setting of the sun. We know that the sun on a daily basis rises in the east and sets in the west, so it works the exact same way in the full year cycle, and it's reflected in this calendar. The sun rises in the east during the vernal equinox or the spring equinox, and it sets in the west during the fall or the autumn equinox. This is why the spring equinox brings brightness and warmth and new life, while the autumn equinox brings this darkness. At my time of filming this today, we're still experiencing the autumn equinox here in the southern hemisphere, which you can see here on the calendar is represented by a feather. The feather represents truth and righteousness. Our hearts are weighed against a feather in our journey into the afterlife. The season following the autumn equinox is the astrological house of Libra, or Set, which we know is represented by the scale. This fall equinox equates a time of death, of darkness, and the withdrawal into oneself. I explain more about this in a video called the Autumn Equinox Breakdown, which I'll put a link to in the description below. The Dendera Zodiac, or the African calendar, is in alignment with nature, and it's actually pretty easy to read once you have a little bit of context. Because of the indoctrination of the Western education system, we're more accustomed to the Gregorian calendar, which is completely out of alignment with nature. So I'm going to try to break it down as simply as possible. Each figure on the outside of the circle represents a house of the tropical zodiac, beginning with Asa, or Aries, the first figure after the vernal or spring equinox, east of the Dendera. The circle is divided up into 12 seasons, which we now call months, in which the sun passes through each of the 12 constellations, affecting our natural environment here on Earth with every shift in constellation. Each constellation is divided into a 30-degree angle on the calendar, each containing 3 decans, which are groups of stars that help to further specify the time periods within each astrological house, dividing each house into 3 10-day segments. So not only would your time of birth be determined by the season that you're born in, but also specifically by which decan you were born under. Our ancestors called them decan spirits. We have a total of 36 decan spirits per year, and they're represented by these deities on the line of the inner circle of the Dendera. If you want to know more details on the decan spirits, you can let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to break it down in a separate video because it's quite a lot. So I talk a lot about the movement of the sun and how our ancestors tracked the movement of the sun. And when I say this, I'm obviously referring to our earthly perception of the sun's seeming movement through the sky, because we all know that the sun doesn't actually move. We orbit around the sun. The calendar was designed this way to make it easier to track the alignment of the earth with the sun, because the way that the earth moves through the solar system affects every natural element on the earth. The sun controls everything, which is why we call it the solar system, which is also why it was the focal point of the spirituality of our ancestors. It's what they used to measure time, seasons, and energies. The constellations never change, but our perception of the sun's movement through those constellations is what affects our natural environment, affects us directly, and also determines our past, present, and future. It is the original measurement of time. The term zodiac comes from Hellenistic astronomers whose study of astronomy traces back to Kemet. So it's an ancient Greek term, which when you break down the etymology of it, means cycle or circle of little animals, zoo being a derivative of the word animal, which makes sense considering all of the different animals in our calendar. They each had a specific meaning and correlation with the constellations and seasons. For instance, the season of Asa, which we now call Aries season, is characterized by the ram. Aries is the Latin word for the ram, which in Kemet correlated with the god Amun, who was the genesis of creation and the beginning of each new cycle. Amun was also called Amen, a term that is still recited at the end of prayers in both Jewish and Christian religion. A lot of religious scripture originates from the hieroglyphic scripture that is translated in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. So my actual point of making this video is because with the understanding of the way that astronomy actually works within our solar system, I realized something that we've been overlooking in mainstream media as a global collective, especially here in the Southern Hemisphere. So this modern astrological system that we use is developed from the diagram that was taken from Kemet, which is in the Northern Hemisphere, and it was further studied and developed in the Northern Hemisphere. And we know that everything that happens in the Northern Hemisphere astronomically is happening in the reverse effect in the Southern Hemisphere. For instance, the spring equinox in the Southern Hemisphere is the fall equinox in the Northern Hemisphere. Their winter solstice is our summer solstice. And in the exact same way, when they look up at the stars in the Northern Hemisphere, the constellations that they see are a reversed version of what we see in the Southern Hemisphere. The only aspects of astronomy that don't affect us differently across the hemispheres are the planets, the movement of the planets, as well as the movement of the moon. Because other planets rotate independently around the sun along with the Earth, and the moon rotates around the Earth. However, the sun and stars are stagnant. So at the point of equinox, each hemisphere sees the sun moving through opposite constellations. While we in the southern hemisphere see the sun moving into the constellation of Libra, the northern hemisphere sees it moving into the constellation of Libra's opposite house, Aries. And because we're experiencing completely different energies at this point, because the sun is affecting our natural environment in a completely different way, it ultimately makes no sense to measure our astrological time frame by what is happening in the opposite hemisphere. We're experiencing a completely different part of the creation cycle at that time, and the sun is activating a completely different constellation in our region. Astrologers have mentioned this in passing throughout the history of the study of astrology, but it's never really been emphasized enough to become general practice, which means that the majority of people in countries south of the equator, like us in South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Botswana, Mauritius, we're out of alignment with the sun signs that affect us directly. I lived my whole life identifying as a Taurus when I'm actually a Scorpio, which was a very difficult pill for me to swallow when I learned that information. But the more I read on the Kemetic deity that I was born under and how that related to the scorpion, it really revealed a lot of things about myself that I didn't really understand throughout the course of my life. I had trouble understanding, and these are things that I now understand with the new understanding of the deity that I was born under, that I'm most influenced by. I now know that I was born under the god Anpu, who is the god of secret knowledge and the gatekeeper of the underworld, and his color is black. Everything that I read about his purpose and his function within the creation cycle, I resonated with. And I really feel that this is something that's important for people to acknowledge. Not just people who acknowledge astrology in their lives, but just the understanding that our calendar across hemispheres is different. It's actually opposite. Just so that we stop celebrating the wrong things at the wrong time. For instance, Easter is originally a celebration of the spring equinox. The practices of Easter were intended to align the human body with its natural environment and with the sun. We in the southern hemisphere are completely out of alignment with that. Christmas is originally a celebration of the winter solstice, and we in the southern hemisphere mindlessly celebrate the winter solstice during the summer solstice, singing let it snow during the hottest time of our year. It is hindering our ability to align. We're moving completely against the rhythm of nature, making it so much easier for countries that are in alignment to walk all over us. I really hope that one day we'll stop allowing ourselves to be dragged by the Western perspective, just so that we can start to live in our full potential. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it off there because I feel like I've been talking for a really long time, and I want to find out what parts of this topic you want to know more about, so that I don't keep talking about things that are not of interest. So please put in the comments below what it is that you'd like me to elaborate further on surrounding this topic. I've already mentioned that I may do a video elaborating further on the Deacon spirits, so please let me know if that's something that you would like to see. And also please put in the comments what your experience is of reading on your true astrological sign. Does it resonate immediately, or do you feel that you may need to hear the original analysis of that deity that rules that astrological sign? If it is something that you'd like to see, I think I may do a 12-part series of videos going into
each astrological sign because it is quite extensive. I feel like each sign would need its own video. If that is something that you'd like to see, do let me know as well. And in the meantime, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself.
Okay, everybody, we're back now. Did you hear what that lady said? Now, I know for a fact, over here in America, we messing it up big time because when the 1st of January come, we walk around here in America, down here in Florida, telling people Happy New Year. We're up there in New York City talking about Happy New Year. When common sense should tell you the beginning of New Year would be the first day of spring. When everything start coming to life. You out there freezing, talking about Happy New Year, almost frozen. And then we celebrating the summer solstice, the winter solstice. Oh my goodness, we got it all backwards. But nevertheless, I'm here to try to straighten some of this stuff out to let you know how important it is for us to get these sciences. And this is your stuff. This stuff belongs to you. It is what your ancestors used thousands of years ago to rule the entire world. These sciences belong to you, and everybody else got sciences, got your sciences, and telling you that you need to take the Bible and get to believing this stuff, and that this kind of science is this is evil, this is wicked, and all that. Yeah. So we walk around, man, I don't want nothing to do with it. Man, this is science. This ain't we ain't talking about believing nothing. We talking about dealing with the evidence and the facts. Okay, so that's what we are trying to straighten out here today. I'm gonna go to another commercial, and when we come back, we're moving forward. Okay, we still down in here. We're gonna straighten some of this here business here out today. And okay, so now y'all hold on a minute. Let me go to this commercial and do a couple of these, and then we'll be back. Oh, here it is, right here. I was looking for it. There we go. Hold on. Hello, everybody. I want to introduce you to The Great Debate by Dr. Walter Williams. He single-handedly laid out the facts in this powerful debate against Mr. Munir Muhammad of the Nation of Islam, Chester Blair, a prominent lawyer in Chicago, Illinois, and Reverend Henry Harvey, a prominent minister in Chicago, and Prince Azio bin Israel of the Hebrew Israelites. This debate was hosted by a retired policeman named W.L. Lillard. Now, the whole thing was a setup by Lillard and his gang, but it didn't work. They brought what they believed to the table, but Dr. Walter Williams brought what he knew for a fact and what he could prove and laid it on the table. We are now in the age of knowing. The age of walking around believing in stuff is over. For your copy of The Great Debate, go to TarhakaDataElimination.org. That's TarhakaDataElimination.org, or contact me by phone. My number's on the website. Oh, and by the way, the lawyer got bust up too. The Great Debate. Get your copy today. Good day and peace. As a secured party and creditor, can you buy a home, a car, and other items you need and want? The answer is yes, and there are documents you use to do just that. Catch my radio podcast at Blog Talk Radio. Go to TarhakaDataElimination.org. Fill out the box with your email address that say join our mailing list, and I will send you my free report. You got credit problems? Contact me at tarhakadebtelimination.org. Let's stay in honor and get into the private. All right, we back, y'all. Now, let me show you how important this information is that we're discussing here tonight. I'm going to tell you what happened during my lifetime. And keep in mind, there was a time that I didn't know this stuff, and but I had to learn. And I think I learned it better than anybody else because I had a hard time. I had to learn the hard way. I call myself fumbling around with the Zodiac, and I said I got the month right, and yeah, but me and her still ain't getting along. And then I learned about the month and the year. I said, okay, well I uh messed that all up, and children coming, all kind of stuff. Calling the police, oh man, arguing, fussing, ain't no peace, and all this kind of stuff is going on. Then finally, I started taking my time and studying this stuff and getting it right. But I made a lot of mistakes, you know. When I went back and looked at the women in my life that is gone from yesterday, and I did the math on them, I found out that every last one of them was the wrong number. I said, well, no wonder. I'm thinking this is supposed to be like this and that they're supposed to be like that, but I wasn't doing the science right. But when I was fortunate enough to remember and get a hold to the paperwork that I had around here with the information wrote down on it about their astrological information, and done the whole thing and did the acid test on it, you know, the numbers was wrong. So I said, well, okay, you live and you learn. But nevertheless, I went into the area about dealing with your name. Your name has meaning, a person's name. This is a very, very extraordinary science, and I feel so proud to know that the science came from our people. And so we want to get down into some of this right here. And let's take a look at uh, your name. Okay, let's look at that, and then we'll be back, and we keep on going with this thing. So y'all hold on a minute.
Hello all my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa Samina, and welcome to the fam. So guys, today we're going to be figuring out what your name reveals about you. And who doesn't want to know more about what their name reveals about their destiny? Am I right? We all want to know more. So it's really simple. If you have a name, this video is for you. Just so you know, simultaneously to this video, I have published a video where you can receive a reading that is specific to your destiny number. So the link to that is down below. So once you've calculated your destiny number, feel free to watch your reading. So one of the oldest and most fundamental magical beliefs is that the name that an object or a person goes by reveals everything about the essence of that being. And in some societies, names would be taken so seriously that you would have one public name and then you would have one secret name. And sometimes that name was so secret that you wouldn't even know your own name. So that is a name that was whispered to you as a baby by your mother, like just a very secret and mysterious thing. And this was done because it was said that when you have somebody's real name, then you have them at their most vulnerable, because that is the essence of the person. So if you keep it a secret, that means that no negative energies would be able to affect you. That's just a little mystical, magical background for you. But thankfully in today's day and age, we're a lot more open and straightforward with our names. And that's what we're getting into today. So your name can be broken down into numbers, and the number that you receive from your name is called your destiny number. I also like to call it name number. And I don't know if that's an actual term for your destiny number, but I like to call it name number because it's simple. It sticks. So in order to find the number of your name is to turn each letter of your name into a number. Now, there are two systems, so numerologists like to give two interpretations per name. So one system is the modern system, and then the other system is the Hebrew system. Whichever system you prefer, the calculations remain the same. And guys, this is where I've created a free PDF for you to use as often as you wish. The link is down below in the description box. You can go to my website and download that for free. It's also helpful if you just want to take notes, write it down, have a good overview, all on 2 sheets of paper. So I'm going to do it with you. You're going to write down your name, so for me that would be Vanessa, and the equivalent number for each letter. So once you have turned each one of the letters of your name into a number, you're then going to add all of those numbers up. So in the modern system, I received the number 18. In the Hebrew system, I received the number 24. As you can see on the screen, you can use your first name as well as your first and your last name and add all of the numbers that you receive up. So if adding up all of the numbers equivalent to each letter of your name ends up having more than 2 digits, what you're going to do is combine those 2 digits again, repeat the process until you end up with just one single digit. However, there are exceptions. The exceptions are 11 and 22. Those are considered master numbers. So if you encounter a master number in 11 and 22, leave it as is. And another thing that you want to make sure that you do is use the name that you think of yourself by, okay, the name that you go by. So for example, your name is Elizabeth Turner, but you go by Liz Turner, you call yourself Liz Turner, everybody just knows you as Liz Turner, then use Liz Turner. And if you've been married or your name changes for whatever reason, know that your maiden name is the name that speaks of who you are at the core, and the name after the name change is all about what the future heralds for you in your new identity. The number that you find using this method to figure out what your destiny number is is the most important number when it comes to your personality, your future, the type of life that you will lead, as well as the opportunities potentially coming your way. Just as we were discussing, is that the magical belief is that your name is the essence of you. So if you want a little bit more time to study the modern as well as the Hebrew method, the link is in the description box. You can decide whichever one that you feel most connected to, but what I like to do is just find out 2 interpretations. So you will find that each method will give you a different result and kind of reveal a different type of aspect of who you are. And if you don't really associate who you are with your full name, including a middle name, multiple middle names, then leave those out. Really just use the name by which you identify yourself as. So I will be talking about all destiny numbers and their meanings 1 through 9, the master number 11, as well as the master number 22. I also simultaneously have published a video where you can watch a reading for your destiny number. I will link that below, so you can click that and watch a reading that is specifically designed for your destiny number. And furthermore, I will be providing timestamps down below so you don't have to watch all the destiny numbers and kind of guess when which number is showing up. You can just click your destiny number, your name number, and watch that segment. So destiny number 1 is symbolic of initiation, as well as being that person that jumps to action and isn't afraid to be pioneering and start things from zero, start something new from the ground up. So being the initiator, which comes up with new ideas, new ways of doing business, of going through life, just overall being pretty fearless and courageous. If you possess the destiny number 1, then do know that life has some great roles prepared for you where you are the leader, because you really thrive as a leader figure and people find it easy to listen to you and move according to the beat of your drum. So number 1, thrive in an environment where you can be independent as well as inventive. So the destiny number 2 is linked to sensitivity, balance, just being a very caring and kind person. So you're the type of person who loves to kind of make sure that things are working harmoniously. You're always the type that is just all about everybody getting along and nobody being in any quarrel, dispute, or arguments, which it can be like really difficult and heavy on your heart if you feel like your happiness almost depends on whether balance is possible or not, whether balance can be established or not. So that's where destiny number 2 needs to make sure that they are not too dependent on anybody's validation, anybody else's actions. Keep in mind that you find your own personal balance and equilibrium, and that you can only control yourself and your own actions. And the fact that you have pure, kind intent is really all that matters at the end of the day. Destiny number 3 is highly communicative as well as playful and interacts really well with other human beings. So you're the type of person who does well in collaborating, so being a group leader and initiating group work in your workplace and your professional life, just overall in your social life, that's where you really shine. And that's where people are so appreciative of those with the destiny number 3, because you're a very mindful and caring person, and it's important for you to ensure that on all the important occasions people get together and celebrate what is truly important. You don't take things too seriously, which makes you a really fun person to have around. Destiny number 4 is very solid, has very earthy type of grounded energy, and loves security. So building things that last, leading a life that will hopefully outlive you, and just aspiring to leave a legacy. That is what destiny number 4 is all about. Furthermore, destiny number 4 can sometimes slip into a little bit of a mundane type of lifestyle, a little bit of a reclusive lifestyle almost, where you have your places that you go to, the people who you hang out with, but sometimes you need to bust out of that. So the sense for adventure can be a little lower with the destiny number 4 because you're more focused on your hustle. You're more focused on creating the life that you desire. So make sure that you take time to just spend a minute enjoying time with others, doing some things that you otherwise wouldn't do, getting out of your comfort zone so that you don't become too complacent and too comfortable in all things that are mundane. As a destiny number 4, you thrive in stable and committed relationships, which makes you an awesome partner. Destiny number 5 is really playful and progressive. You're quick, you're witty, and you're fun to be around. As a destiny number 5, you are very driven, and you can kind of overcome any obstacle and challenges much more easily than other destiny numbers because you're really focused on finding a solution. You're focused on finding a way to overcome the challenge rather than focusing on the challenge itself. And you're more confident than other destiny numbers. You're the type of person that people love to have like on sports teams because no matter what's going on or what's happening, you're going to do your best and you're going to put yourself out there as much as you possibly can in order to create success, in order to win. So because destiny number 5 is all about putting themselves out there, winning, getting things done, you are more likely to win because one thing that is really true is that you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And destiny number 5 takes all of the shots, which means that there's always a possibility for success there. So that's something that's really positive, but you can also end up spreading yourself too thin. So for destiny number 5, make sure that you select the exact things you want to focus on in your life, in your relationships, and then lean into those rather than doing a little bit of everything because your energy is precious and sometimes you can kind of take on a little bit too much for your own good. Destiny number 6 is very nurturing, very family-oriented, and very kind and caring. So destiny number 6 is all about home life, is often kind of a bit of a hermit, likes to do domestic things, likes to make sure that the environment in which they live in is pretty and is in a sense very comfortable, not only for themselves, but for the people who are closest to them. If you're destiny number 6, then you are affected by the moods of those closest to you. So you couldn't really care less about anybody who you don't know or anybody who has ever been rude to you, but those people who you hold close, near and dear to your heart, they mean everything. And when they're going through something or just overall when they have issues, like those become your issues. That's where destiny number 6 needs to be really careful to make that difference, to create that boundary between their own life and other people's lives and other people's problems, if you will. Destiny number 6 is really like the nurturer, the type of person to always take care of others first, which makes them excellent friends and parents, but can sometimes be a little bit overly involved. Destiny number 7 is almost like the Blue's Clues of numerology, the detective. They like to solve mysteries, they like to find solutions to problems, and they're very analytical. So if you are a destiny number 7, do know that jobs in which you have to kind of like almost play detective that's where you thrive, okay? And you're good at getting information that you maybe shouldn't necessarily acquire. Like, you have screenshots that can ruin people's lives. You are, in that sense, the person that keeps all the bits of information that are necessary or could become necessary. 7 is extremely detail-oriented, which is great in the workplace, can be a little bit difficult in relationships, especially romantic ones. So try to loosen your grip and try to not let your perfectionist tendencies flow over to other people. So being a perfectionist with yourself, that is already a big deal, okay? That is already putting a strain on you, and it can already be challenging to just be you. But on top of that, you know, if you expect the same of other people, you will most likely be disappointed, because destiny number 7, nobody is as detail-oriented as you are, and nobody is as good of a detective and as meticulous as you can be. So know that this is your superpower. Don't turn it into the opposite by expecting it from others. Destiny number 8 is all about abundance as well as material wealth. The number 8 is a number that is prosperous. So this is awesome when it comes to earthly things, but do know that materialism can sometimes consume a number 8, and that's when you fall into a bit of a difficult situation where you're not quite sure what's more important to you. Is it spirituality? Is it things that you can't really touch or see? Or is it all of this prosperity that you can potentially move further into your life? Because business ventures come by more easily for you, or more easily managed by a destiny number 8, but at the same time, destiny number 8 can also lose overview of what's truly important in life. So it's important for you to keep that balance between the material as well as the spiritual. Destiny number 9s are old souls. So if you're a destiny number 9, hello, hi, I absolutely vibe with you. I love me an old soul. So a destiny number 9 has been through ups and downs in life, and nothing can really shake them. They're amazing friends, they're amazing partners, and they can be highly understanding of any difficulty that you're going through. Destiny number 9 is often super spiritual, super enlightened, and isn't afraid of change, is very adaptable. But sometimes destiny number 9 can have their heads in the cloud a little too much, which can make it hard for them to focus or find that balance between the spiritual plane as well as the material. Master number 11 revs up the energy of number 2. So basically, you're just like destiny number 2, but an amplified version. And on top of having the amazing traits that number 2 has, you have a very intuitive as well as psychic side to you that just gives you this superior air. And in numerology, destiny number 11 is connected to spiritual awareness as well as enlightenment, which you are no stranger to. Master number 22 is almost like a continuation of the number 4. So you have all of the most amazing traits of the number 4, but kind of like revved up, if you will. And master number 22 is also known as the master builder. Because this is such a powerful number, do know that you have a lot of responsibility in this lifetime to use your gifts in order to create a better place in this world. Master number 22s usually have had a little bit of a troubled childhood, or have just kind of always known that they've been very different, and their innovative thoughts and skills, just this master builder energy comes from a place where it's fueled by you not allowing troubles, difficulties to stop you. So no matter what anybody may have said to you at an early point in your life of what you're able or not able to become, you prove everybody wrong. You know it's easy for you to prove everybody wrong, and you understand that you have a much higher purpose to fulfill in this lifetime. So that was a quick summary of all the destiny numbers. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it insightful. Let me know down below what your destiny number is, and I'll catch you in another video.
Okay, everybody, we back. Okay, now I put out a video not too well, it was quite a while ago, on numerology. You can go over there on YouTube, and you can subscribe to my channel. And once you do that, you can go ahead and access that video. And I put out another video on times the 9. To deal with the Gregorian calendar versus the natural order of time. These are videos I put out in the past, and the numerology video dealt with your life path number, your destiny number, all of that information has already been put out on my channel. So when you go over there to YouTube, just type in my name, Tarhaka Amana El Bay, and a video come up. You're right there on the screen of my video, right in the bottom right hand corner. You see the little subscribe button. Just click on that and subscribe to my channel. You can go back and look at the previous videos that we have done. We're going to do part 2 of this video. We're going to put this here show up on YouTube, so you have access to this information. You can listen to it over and over, and so you get to start working on this stuff and get this stuff down to a science. I like to give a shout out to my students in my class, because we have the our law classes. Notice I didn't say nothing about legal. I said law. And I would like to congratulate the brothers and sisters on the work that they have done and the success that they're having. They've gotten a lot of work done, and went all up in the courtroom and won up in there. And so I just want to give a shout out to you. And you know who you are. I'm not going to call your names, but anyway, I would like to say congratulations to you, and keep up the good work. And we still got your classes going. Now, let me do my numbers. I was born July the 8th, 1953. When you add all those numbers up, you come to the master number, power number 33. And to get the life path number, you add those two threes together and you get the number 6. And the numbers that's for me, my numerology numbers would be a 369. So that's what I'm looking for. And as far as the women is concerned that I'll date, these women's what is Scorpio, Pisces, roosters and oxes, and Taurus, roosters and oxes. But the math got to be right. You got to be a 3, or 6, or 9 when we do the add all your numbers up. It's got to come to 369. That's before we talk about going the distance, because we're going to be peace and be on the same page and all that stuff. And these sciences work, and I'm here to tell you they work because I know one thing: when you don't do them right, they sure don't work. So when you got the wrong math, and of course numbers don't lie. And if the math ain't right, it ain't right. You can't prop it up. You can't put a Band-Aid on it. You can't stick no crutch up on it. It just ain't gonna work. Okay? So I'm here to tell you, we got some more of this here stuff to go. And before I go to the next plug, I'm gonna take another commercial break, and when we come back, we're going back in. So y'all hold your hat for a minute. We'll be right back. When you know what the Internal Revenue Service is and what their job and duties are, you can use the correct way to deal with them. There's a remedy for you to use. When it comes to the IRS, go to tarhakadebtelimination.org. Fill out the box with your email address that says join our mailing list. The Internal Revenue Service is a private corporation, but there are rules and regulations. Get my free report. Learn about what's going on in America today. That's tarhakadebtelimination.org. Lose your fear for the Internal Revenue Service by knowing exactly what to do based on what you know about them and what remedies are available to you to use. tarhakadebtelimination.org. Peace. Y'all hold on a minute. We'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we're back. Now, before we go on to the next segment, let me stress a little bit more to you how important what we're dealing with tonight is. Because I have seen a lot of things going between brothers and sisters, and a lot of that stuff wasn't so good. I mean, I've been in the community where situations is happening that is totally unbelievable because we got the two people or the wrong two people with each other. And I had a brother come by the house, and the brother told me, well, I don't know what's wrong. I done this. I do this here, and I don't. And I mean, I've had several brothers tell me the same thing. Man, I'm working. She know where I'm at all times and all that. But so I said, well, what is the math? Give me the math. Give me the math on you. Give me the math on her. And I look at it. I said, well, according to this right here, y'all the two wrong numbers. I said, yeah, but I do this, and I said, man, I ain't trying to hear it. You do anything you want, it ain't gonna work. Numbers don't lie. So, and then I get on with the next brother, man. And I ain't calling no names, because I've seen a sister. Well, I didn't see it, but I read down the street when it happened. Where this woman, she just sit there and wait on her boyfriend to come out the store. He come out the store. She crunk up the car and just ran over him and killed him. Less than a block from the house, right down the street. And I said, wow, man. Then a situation with another a guy and girl, and every time you see them, they hold their hands, they deeply in love, and they get in the house and they start drinking liquor, and next thing you know, he's fighting and beating her up, and but one day she shot him in the chest with a 22 and killed him. Then had another brother. His brother was the nicest brother you ever want to meet. It couldn't have been no better brother that I've ever met in my life than this brother here. But he ended up killing his wife, and thought he had killed the man she was going with, but he didn't die. And he got mad about that. But man, I'm telling you, to me, this is precious information, and I pay close attention to it, and I study it, and I meet a lot of beautiful women out there. They all on the internet, they all out in the streets and stuff, but my question is, okay, well, I know you look good and all that right there, but my question is, who are you? First of all, let's get this, let's do that there. Let's get this here right. First, let me, because that let me know to what degree, and then I'm gonna deal with this situation. And whether or not I'm gonna visit them, because I ain't gunshot proof, and I ain't stab proof, and I want to. I ain't got no time to waste with the wrong people no more. I done been there, done that. Got married one time, stayed married less than a year, didn't even make it a whole year, and finally I did the math on that. Wrong number. Okay. But a lot of times, I hear brothers and sisters, oh, child, he fine, and man, that girl there, boy, she sure look good. And I said, yeah, but who is she though, man? I don't care who she is. I just, I said, okay, keep it up, keep on. But anyway, you might want to take a look at this stuff, and in fact, what I'm going to do at the end of the night show, I'm going to edit my free report, and I'm going to include the definitions of numbers. So you can take each number and look at the meaning of that number. We'll put that file in there so you'll be able to look at that. I got that, so I'm going to include that start including that into your free report. So when you go over to tarhakadataelimination.org and you see the little join our mailing list box, all you got to do is put your email in there and click send. That comes straight to me, and then I'll rush you my free report, and it will include that information on the numerology thing, because it's very important. And when it comes to business, keep in mind, that's a relationship too. If you're involved in a business relationship with somebody, okay, well, who you in business with? Oh, that's Bob, or that's Jackie, or that's Janice, or that's Richard. Okay, well, who is Bob, Richard, and Janice? Who they is? Who? And you want to do the math on that and find out what you're doing, especially when you're talking about investing a whole lot of money and y'all partners in the business, you doing all the work, and they ain't doing nothing. That's because you got the wrong number, son, sister. So, so you want to take a look at this right here before you even get involved. I don't care how much money they got to invest. Who are they? Let's get that part right first. I know she live right next door. She look good. Who is she? You catch my drift? You see what I'm talking about here? All right. So, and man, the list of bad numbers that I got can go on and on and on. Not just with me, with situations around me and the people that I've seen and things that I've seen happen, man. I had one brother, he sure enough had the wrong woman, and that woman had sure enough had the wrong man, because she tell me, I do what I want to do, and I go where I want to go, and I stay long, and I F who I want to F, and that, yada, 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 yada. And one day she went out there and come home 5 o'clock in the morning and got in the bed, and he woke up, got a 38, put the pillow over her head, put the pistol to the pillow, pulled the trigger, and blew her brains out. And right there on the spot, then took the pistol and he shot his own self in the head to kill his own self. So to avoid all of this right here, don't you think that it will be to our benefit to know a little bit more about the people that we're involved in? I mean, we're hopping on the dating sites, and we on all this stuff. We on Facebook, we on Twitter, and they got the TikTok thing going now. And we meeting these people, and we're going out to date, and we spending money for hotels and motels and all this stuff, and and got the wrong one. You know, if you're going to invest in something, don't you think what you're investing in should be the right thing? You know, you get to know a person, talk a little bit, find out who you're dealing with, or find out what you're dealing with. You know, and in my opinion, this information here is a part of my life. You know, I have to know. I'm not gonna sit there and constantly invest in something that's not going nowhere. You know, and you get caught up in a tide, and you steady investing in something that ain't going nowhere. You in this low vibrational cycle. You just going back and forth. You know, you down, she down. It just, you know, whew. But nevertheless, let's deal with your initials. What about your initials to your name? Before we get into the numerology of your year, we're going to deal with your initials, okay? So y'all sit tight, and we'll be right back.
Hello all my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Samina, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So guys, today's video is going to be really intriguing, fun, and personal, as we're going to be figuring out exactly what your initials reveal about you. So for anyone with a name or several names, this video is for you. So before I get into the video and explain to you exactly how you can calculate the number of your initials, I just wanted to let all of you know that the Gentle Heart Tarot, which is my very first tarot deck that I self-published, has been restocked in my online store. I will leave the link down below in the description box. And as those of you who follow me on Instagram know, this deck sold out 8 hours after launch. So needless to say, you're going to want to grab your first edition Gentle Heart Tarot deck while they last. So I just wanted to let you guys know because it's just been beyond overwhelming and exciting, and it's all thanks to you guys. It truly is. I wouldn't be able to do what I love every single day and to be able to self-publish my very first tarot deck if it wasn't for the unwavering support for each and every one of you who watches my videos. I just wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. But now, let's get back to figuring out exactly what your initials reveal about you. So if you're not 100% sure what your initials are the first letters of your name. That's your initials. So for me, if I'm looking at Vanessa Samina, I have a V and I have an S. Those are the two first letters of the name that I go by. So if your name, for example, is Marina Apple, then your initials would be M.A. So I know that a lot of you have multiple names, or you may be wondering what to do with your middle name or middle names. So when it comes to calculating what your initials mean, it is so important that you go with what feels right for you. If you do not resonate whatsoever with your middle name or middle names, then don't take them into the equation. If your name is Marina Garcia Apple, but you do not resonate with Garcia, then leave that out, okay? Then it's just Marina Apple. M.A., plain and simple. And if you have a double name, know that each name has its own initial. So Mary Louise Apple would be M.L.A. if you turn that into initials. Don't ask me how I came up with that name, but I really love it. It's kind of growing on me. So once you have figured out your initials and you're 100% sure that you only have the letters in there that resonate with you and that you feel truly connected to, we can go into turning each letter into a number. That way we can use numerology in order to calculate the meaning of your initials. So we will be using the modern system to turn each letter into a number. So you can either pause the video right here in order to start your calculations, or you can access a free PDF that I have as a downloadable on my website, where you can download this modern system as well as the Hebrew system if that is the numerological system that you prefer to use. But to make things easy and uncomplicated, I'm going to show you using the modern system how to calculate what your initials mean. So it's really easy. You probably don't even need a pen or paper for this. You write the corresponding numbers under your initials and then you add the numbers up. And if the total number that you receive has 2 figures or more, then you do the whole thing again because you want to end up with 1 digit. So if, for example, your initials are GH, then that would be 7 plus 8. But then we have 2 digits, right? So we want to bring that down to just 1. So you would carry on with the calculation, adding those 2 numbers up, 1 plus 5, so you would receive 6. So 6 is not only the digital root of the number 15, but it is also the number which is going to help us figure out what your initials mean. And if you have a name like mine, it's fairly simple. V corresponds to the number 4, and S corresponds to the number 1. So all you do is add that up, no hassle, no stress, no calculator needed. And by the way, the number 10 does not exist when you're using this method to calculate what your initials mean. 10 has 2 digits, and as mentioned, we're trying to get things down to just 1 digit. So 10 is simply 1 plus 0, which equals 1. So 1 would be your initial number. So at this point of the video, you've hopefully been able to calculate and figure out what your initial number is. So the number found through using this method is said to reveal a lot about your personality, character, as well as your opportunities in life and where life may lead you. So we're going to go into that shortly. I have the timestamps for each number down below in the description box. So all that you need to do is scroll down, select the number that you ended up with, and then you can fast forward to the relevant part of the video. And if you're a bit of a nosy person like I am, then you're most most likely not going to stop at calculating your initial number. You may want to calculate it for your partner, your husband, your crush, your best friend, your worst enemy, you name it. It's so simple, quick, and easy to calculate, so do feel free to go crazy and to watch other people's numbers as well. That may actually give you some good insight as to why they act the way that they do. But who are we to use numerology to judge? Not gonna lie, I've definitely calculated everyone's initial number who I know, but let's just keep that between you and me. So let's get right into it, shall we? I'll be starting off with the initial number 1, and I will be working my way through to number 9. So if you're a number 1, keep watching, and for all of my other fabulous numbers, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, initial number 1. So you are said to be very independent, fierce, and strong-minded. As an initial number 1, you are the type of person who is ambitious and who isn't afraid to do things on their own. So that's where your very independent streak comes from. You are an excellent leader, so this makes you great in management roles. This makes you great as, the CEO, if that is your favorite position. And overall, you are a very powerful character and a personality. You are positive, self-reliant, and often a pioneer. So it's not unusual for people with the initial number 1 to come up with great innovative ideas to start their own businesses as well as to be entrepreneurs. Having the initial number 1 does make you a bit more masculine, or if you will, more aggressive compared to the other numbers. Now, that is a positive thing in many ways, but for some people it can be a lot to handle. But it's important for you to decide whether people are intimidated because you're challenging them or your competition, or people are intimidated because you're really putting, a little bit too much energy into a situation. That is up for you to decide. But a lot of other initial numbers do struggle with your authoritative energy. They do feel intimidated by you, which is something that initial number 1 doesn't necessarily notice themselves. But if you look around, or if you think of situations where you felt kind of confused as to why people were scared to speak their mind or seemed like they weren't quite saying what they wanted to say, do know that while you're a very friendly person and great in leadership roles, you can intimidate others. So if you're looking for a way to grow or to better yourself, try to focus on that aspect of your personality and being able to discern between when people see you as competition and when people are struggling to talk to you because of the strong presence that you are initial number 1. You also are said to have great memories and to be able to really focus on a project, especially when it matters. That makes initial number 1 very probable to go far in their professional lives. Now let's talk about initial number 2. Initial number 2, this is a number that is regarded as feminine. This is a number that is regarded as one that is balanced. You have a little bit of your masculine side present as well as your feminine, which makes for a great mixture, but overall you're definitely a little bit more on the feminine energy side. Initial number 2s usually have very soft and sweet, caring natures, and initial number 2s make for great partners as well as friends. You can sometimes be a little bit indecisive, which is hard on you, but kind of really adorable for other people to watch. You're even-tempered as well as tidy and mostly modest. An initial number 2 is not somebody who likes to brag or be the center of attention. You're more the person who's like uplifting others, but it's important for you, initial number 2, to make sure that you're not leaving yourself in the dust and that you're not leaving your own personal needs behind just to fulfill other people's needs. Initial number 2, you definitely need to make sure that you give yourself that same loyal energy that you give others, and also that you make it a priority to just make up your mind to take care of yourself follow through and do it. With all of the time, energy, and hard work that you put in to make sure that other people succeed, that other people feel supported, as well as to ensure that a business works as a whole without singling yourself out as the leader and the most important role, it's so essential for you to not forget about yourself, initial number 2. Now let's talk about initial number 3. Initial number 3 is very charming, very lively, very witty, and fun. You can be the life of the party when you want to be, and people really enjoy having you as a guest and having you as a friend because you bring bubbly energy to the table without being overbearing and without being too pompous, if you will. As an initial number 3, you're very imaginative and you're the type of person who always comes up with a solution to a problem. So rather than feeling like you've hit a wall, you're the type of person who always feels like there's another way to accomplish success, to get to that point of success. This makes initial number 3 a highly talented initial number, especially when it comes to the arts. So initial number 3 is often a very artsy type of person. This is someone who can create and build something out of nothing that a lot of people admire and just wonder how you did it. So whether it be an art project or just the accomplishments in your life, you were able to establish despite the odds being stacked against you. As an initial number 3, you positively surprise people all the time. As an initial number 3, you are the type of initial number that is very likely to be lucky, so make sure that you play the lottery, initial number 3. But in all seriousness, as an initial number 3, you are a very open-minded, lucky type of person that just has positive energy. The downfall of initial number 3 is usually that you spread your energy a little too thin, okay? You may be a bit all over the place, a bit indecisive, a little, how should I say, you can take on too many different projects or go down too many different directions, so you're kind of like wasting your precious and very creative energy on lots of different things rather than just focusing on one and doing that in the most amazing manner. So initial number 3, if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to find a way to function at your most optimal rate and state, make sure that you're really focusing in on a project at a time. Moving on to initial number 4, we have a very solid and even-tempered type of people who have the initial number 4. So the initial number 4 is a number that is very practical. It is one that shows that there's stability that's present, and initial number 4s often lead a life of stability where they can chill and just relax and enjoy everything that they've worked so hard for. Initial number 4 is definitely a number that speaks of hard work, which is something that you're not afraid of, or most likely not afraid of, as an initial number 4, as hard work may just be your second or middle name. You're unafraid to stay for longer at your workplace. You're unafraid to put in those extra hours if that means that something is going to be finished in an incredible way. In order to ensure completion at a really high level and high standard, you will do what it takes. But as an initial number 4, this can also sometimes mean that your life tends to just be focused around your career, professional life, and work, and that you forget to have fun, especially with those closest to you. So if you haven't been doing anything fun with friends and family, I know the current situation does not make it easy, but there's still ways to get creative, which is something that you can sometimes struggle with unless someone says, hey, let's do a very specific thing. It can sometimes be hard for initial number 4 to let loose and have fun. So if you're an initial number 4, try to do so more often. Give yourself permission to have a good time. Hello, all of my initial number 5s. So you're really clever, you're really quick, you're really witty, and you're temperamental, you're passionate. As an initial number 5, you are the type of person who is forward thinking. You are the type of person who likes to get things done and who likes to always have a movement going on in and around their life. So as an initial number 5, you don't shy away from new opportunities, from adventure, or even from challenges. So if somebody tells you that they don't think you can do something, that can often fuel you even more. So it's either you're in a place where you just don't want to even entertain that person and you don't care about what they say whatsoever, or you're going to prove them wrong. No matter the cost, no matter what it takes, you are going to make sure that you succeed at something that people told you you never could. As an initial number 5, because you are so driven and ambitious and smart, you can sometimes use all of your strength on people or on projects that aren't really 100% worth your time. So it's important that if somebody slights you or does you wrong, try not to channel any of your precious energy into even paying any mind to them, because you are just somebody that has such an intense amount of energy that it's best channeled only into projects and people that serve you and things that make you feel good about yourself. As an initial number 5, you have the initial number that is connected to physical intimacy. So this is something that makes you an amazing lover, that makes you someone who is very seductive as well as attractive in a sensual way. So don't be surprised if you get told by other people that you have very sensual energy. Now let's talk about initial number 6. As an initial number 6, you're all about that domestic home life. You're all about a very peaceful and tranquil type of existence. You try to avoid any type of negativity or arguments at all costs, because it is important for you that you keep your safe space clear of any unwanted type of vibration. So negative people are a thing of the past for you. You're not doing that anymore, especially an emotionally matured initial number 6. So as an initial number 6, you're very much focused on your home life, on your friends, your family, those who are closest to you. But at the same time, as an initial number 6, when everything in your life is going well, you can tend to be a little bit fuzzy, a little bit gossipy. You can tend to entertain people who you know aren't good for your soul. So that's where it's important for you to be very careful and try not to be too self-satisfied. Try to remind yourself that even when you feel like the work has been done and you've curated a great little social circle, to still be watchful of everything that's happening in that social circle, and to remind yourself that everybody within your reach is growing and is changing. Some people will grow for the better, and some people may grow into a direction that you don't resonate with, and that's completely okay. As an initial number 6, you're really amazing in arts as well as teaching. So many initial number 6s end up moving at some point of their career into a position where they can teach and mentor others. So next, let's talk about the initial number 7. The initial number 7 is a number that is kind of reclusive. A lot of initial number 7s tend to be loners. They tend to like to spend time by themselves in their own company and to reflect on their decisions that they have either already made or are about to make. As an initial number 7, you're somebody who is very intelligent, and you're most likely someone who likes philosophy. You like to think deeper and go deeper than the average person. Small talk is something that isn't really of any value to an initial number 7. That's why they often try to avoid situations in which small talk will be the main way of conversing. Hence why initial number 7s can tend to seem reclusive, but it's actually more that an initial number 7 is decisive, assertive, knows who they want to spend their time with and who they want to to stay far away from. And chances are, if you're gossipy or if you're somebody who is very shallow, an initial number 7 will flake on you and will most likely not want to spend any more time. As an initial number 7, you value your life as well as your emotional state and your spiritual state more than anything. You're not a very materialistic initial number. You tend to be very dreamy and highly imaginative. So money doesn't really have that much value to you. Now, does that mean that an initial number 7 won't be successful? Not at all. But what it does mean is that they will forever be humble, no matter how successful they are or how much they are able to afford for themselves in the material or financial realm. So initial number 7s make for amazing parents as well as teachers, should they decide to invest their time in that. Now let's talk about initial number 8. Initial number 8 stands for power as well as money and worldly involvements. The initial number 8 is a highly charged number with a lot of power and a lot of presence. So as an initial number 8, if you enter a room and you feel like people stare at you, or you're just out in public and you feel like people often notice you, this may be because of your very strong authoritative energy. So this is something that a lot of people may end up finding slightly intimidating. So as an initial number 8, this works really great if you're the head of a corporation, if you're a leader, if you're an entrepreneur. A lot of initial number 8s end up being business owners, entrepreneurs, politicians, because they find that people really listen to them when they speak. People don't just half-heartedly pay attention to initial number 8s. Initial number 8s can captivate an entire audience or an entire room. So this is something that you are meant to use to your advantage. As an initial number 8, you're really good when it comes to finances, and you're able to create businesses that outlive you. So that can sometimes make for a little bit of a materialistic aspect to the initial number 8, which is why it's so important for you to find balance in friends and family, and to make sure that you're spending enough time with them and not just completely immersed in money making and the hustle, the grind. You know what I mean, initial number 8, because you have so much more to offer to the people who care about you. So make sure that you're spending enough time with them. As an initial number 8, you speak fluent sarcasm, and you're somebody who is very intelligent. You're somebody who mostly has gone really far in their education, or you've self-educated yourself a lot. So you've read a lot of books, you've kind of figured out a lot on your own without any type of guidance, which just feeds even more into your driven side and into the side of you that knows that anything is possible. So as an initial number 8, you're basically set for life. The most important thing for you is to remember your mental health and emotional well-being. Now, last but not least, let's speak about initial number 9. Initial number 9 is a very interesting initial number because it is one that has reached a peak that the other initial numbers kind of strive to come to, both emotionally as well as spiritually. 9 is above being materialistic, is above being too entangled in plain earthly things. The initial number 9 often sees things as a big picture and gets involved in helping people and charitable causes. So if you are an initial number 9, it is very probable that you will end up helping other people. So maybe you're already working, for example, in a space where you're teaching, or in the medical field where you're helping people kind of mend their wounds, lick their wounds, and then they can be sent off into the world to do their thing again. So you're always there for people when they're at their lowest as an initial number 9, which makes you susceptible to taking in that weak energy. So you have to protect yourself, all my initial number 9s, because that is often your greatest downfall. When you forget about yourself and you put everything into nurturing others, that you forget that you have needs as well, and those needs deserve to be met, and they are so valid. So initial number 9, as I said, it's highly probable that you will end up as a teacher or end up working in charitable causes, social work, so on. So even past being retired, that is not a time for you to stop. That's like when you're just getting started helping people and doing things that make a difference to this world. And as an initial number 9, that is why self-care is so important, and reminding yourself of the fact that sometimes you too need to be the center of attention. Sometimes you too need to be the center of your own universe. Give yourself permission to do so, initial number 9. You deserve it, especially with how much you give others. So we have now come to the end of this video. I really hope that you found it informative and that you enjoyed it. If you are completely new to my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll never miss another video relevant to your life that can teach you more about yourself and the people around you. Thank you so much for sharing this divine time with me. Know that I'm thinking of you and sending you so much love, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we're going down to the last hour. And keep in mind, in order to get my free report, which will start in the day, include the file on the numbers and the definition of the numbers, that's from numbers 1 through 9, and your power numbers, 11, 22, 33, so on and so forth. And there are other numbers that you need to consider as well. And all of that information will come along with that file, and we will include that in our free report for those of you who go to tarhakadataelimination.org and put in your information And on our little box over there that say join our mailing list, all you do is just type in your email address and just send. That comes straight to me, and we will be rushing our free report right straight to you. Now, I won't be able to do it right now because I'm on the air, but for those of you who listen to the broadcast today, tomorrow, or we'll be throwing it up on YouTube. You go over there and check out the video there, and go ahead on and go from there. I like to mention some books that you can get that have this information in it. One of the books is The New Astrology by Suzanne White. That Suzanne, Suzanne White. And then we got Love by the Numbers by Glynis McCants. That's Glynis McCants. And The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. Millman. Okay, so get a hold of these books, and this is just a few of the books. There are other books on palmistry, and all of these are your sciences now. And this is stuff not to take lightly, because we got too many people in the hospital, in prisons, and in the cemetery that was connected to the wrong each other's. And I mean, it's been a terrible situation. You know, anytime I'm to the point now, anytime I see two men, a man and a woman going at it, something ain't right with the math. You know, there's one brother over here where I am. I'm right down here in Jacksonville, Florida. He goes up to the beauty salon, walk in the beauty salon, shoot his girlfriend and kill her in the beauty salon, then put the gun to his head and shoot his own self in the head. Oh man, all because you the two wrong two people for each other? Come on, that don't make no sense, man. And if you, in my opinion, if you get it right, then you want to, if you're going to be involved in a relationship with somebody, you want to do the math. And if the math ain't right and the numbers ain't right, don't be trying to fix it. You can't fix it. It can't be fixed. It ain't gonna work out. You know, they got and you could tell. For those of you, I don't know if you all ever watched the crime shows that come on TV, real life crime shows. I forgot the name of this program that comes on and tell you about what's the name of this thing? Different crimes that have happened across the United States, where the man married a woman, and the woman found out he got the insurance policy, and she paid somebody to have him killed, and then she can get the insurance money, and oh man, it's all kind of stuff. But what I would have done is I would have did the math first. And I mean, we got some beautiful sisters and some very handsome brothers out there in the United States, right here in the United States. And a lot of people just go by what they see. See a sister come on, oh man, she fine, man, I need to talk to her. I got to get her number and all that, her phone number. Oh boy, no thinking involved, just looking. And the next thing you know, she calling the police. He done beat her up, and oh man, whoo! Avoid all of that foolishness, man. Avoid all that, and take a look at your ancient sciences. This is your stuff. This stuff, you know, this you got everybody got your stuff and making millions of dollars off of your stuff, and you running the church. and oh man, I don't want to get all down in there. Y'all hold on a second. But anyway, I ain't gonna get all down off in that, but just consider what I'm saying. The only thing that I can tell you is it works for me. It sure works for me, because I ain't got time to be messing around with no foolishness. I ain't got time. All right, now we finna get into the numerology of the year, And after that, we're going to be closing down this thing because I think I done gave you enough. Y'all hold your
So
hand.
in this slide, I show you how to calculate your date of birth. My nose is so stuffy. Ugh. Show must go on. Welcome, Sun and Sunsets. My name is Cynthia Renee Meeks, and I am here to help spiritually guide you, help you understand this path of life that you are on now and your past life. So if you are a subscriber to my channel, I would like to say thank you so much for supporting me and this channel. And if you are new to this channel, I would like to say thank you so much for stopping by. And if you are interested in anything spiritual, all you have to do is come on in and join this spiritual family by hitting that subscribe button and notification. So today I am here to give you some information about numerology, right? Your personal year. Personal year. What is this personal year? Most people don't talk about personal year. They don't even know that we all have a personal year theme every year from January to December the 31st. We have this personal year. It changes every year, and it's a 9-year epicycle, okay? So every single year your life have a theme, right? And so what this does is help you understand the trend of events that are here, that are waiting to unfold in this current year. With understanding numerology, with understanding your personal year, numbers do not lie. That's right, numbers do not lie. And instead of being on the flip side of your vibrational theme year, it's good to know what's going to happen, what's coming up, what could happen, right? Because of course it's not going to be right for everybody, but this vibration, whatever theme number you're in for this year, the vibration does not lie, okay? So if you're feeling like, I want to quit my job, then quit your job, because I promise you there's something ahead. If you're feeling like this is the year that you want to expand in your family, have a baby, then do that, because the universe is nudging you, pushing you, saying, hey, this is here, this is the opportunity, this is the time. And for those Christians who are watching this is the season, right? You guys know, you work with seasons. So, and you talk a lot about the seasons and changes in your life. So that is exactly what a personal year theme is all about. It's not anything that's unheard of. It just has a different name than what you're used to, okay? So your personal year also works with your essence and your pinnacle. So yes, today I'm going to give you information about your personal year. However, if you would like to book an appointment with me to get a full numerology analysis, to understand what's going on, what pinnacle you're in, right? What is your essence? What is your life path? What is your born gift? What is your personality, right? What is your heart's desire, your destiny? All you have to do is go down below in the description and click on my website and book a consultation with me, a free consultation, okay? It's always good. Once you have that first reading, analysis, you don't have to worry about doing it again, because now you're able to understand who you are, why you're here, what you came to do, what is your purpose, and why you feel like you do. There's a lot of reasons why we end up being stressed out, depressed, because we're not living our authentic self. And that's when you start understanding numbers, when you start understanding numerology, it's going to give you a whole different outlook on who you are authentically. Yes, astrology gives you a part of who you are, right? That's just another version of how to understand who you are, but it's not enough. Numerology gives you your blueprint of who you are and why you operate and move like you do, why you think like you do, right? Why you are so creative, all of these good things. And so this personal year also gives you a glimpse of who you are, what's going on, and what could unfold for this current year. All right, now let's get started. So as you can see in this slide, I show you how to calculate your date of birth to get your personal year for this year. So simple. All you have to do is take the universal year, which is 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, which is 6, right? Universal year 6, and add it to the day you were born and the month, right? Just like it is here. And if it comes out to a double digit, all you have to do is reduce it to one digit unless it is an 11 or 22. Okay guys, here we go. The key words for your personal year 9 are transformation, forgiveness, endings, humanitarian, completion, and self-worth. Now if you watch this video to the end, I'm going to give you the colors to win in your year 9. Alright, so now let's get started with the first do. So the first do is, do understand that you are closing a 9-year cycle, right, that began 9 years ago. How exciting is that? Right? To know that this is the completion and that you are getting ready to step into a whole new beginning of a new cycle next year. Okay? So the next do is, do maintain a good health regimen for this year. This is a year where there is a lot of endings, closing, completions, loss. It could be a lot of loss. It depends on what your essence is. So you want to make sure that you're doing all that you can, right, to stay healthy. You're eating right, you're exercising, you're meditating, you're sleeping good. Okay, so maintain your good health in this year. Okay, the next do is, do spring clean your home and your life in this year 9. Okay, moving right along to the next do. Do move to another city, state, country, wherever your energy is pushing you to. This is an ending year. So if it's time for you to get out of that place where you're in, whether it's in that house or whether it's in that city, in that state, that country, then move. Allow the energy to work with you and you work with your energy and not against it. Okay, so if you have that desire, it's okay. It's a great time to do it. The universe is working on your behalf, guys. Alright? Next do is, do leave that job if it's not fulfilling your soul purpose, your heart's desire. If you don't feel good about getting up, going to work every day, it's time to remove it, let it go. Endings, completion, it's okay. It's okay. This is your path. This is your life, right? You are the head of this life. You are the one who have to live and go through this path. So if the energy is pushing you and nudging you to leave this job, it's letting you know that there is something out there that is waiting for you, that's waiting on the other end for you. Okay, so it's okay. You don't have to explain it to anyone else. You don't have to justify why you're leaving. Just work with the universe and just move with this energy, all right? Take a risk, right? More like step out on faith, right? Step out on faith. And the next do is, do leave that unhealthy relationship, okay? This is the time to get out. This is ending. This is completion. This is transformation. This is self-worth, right? So if you're in a relationship, whether it's an intimate or friendship, it doesn't matter. It could be you and your girlfriend. If it's unhealthy, it's not serving you, right? It's bringing your energy down. It's taking all of your energy away when you're around them. It's making you feel negative. It's time to get out of that unhealthy relationship, okay? And so the next do is, do forgive others from the past. This is a 9-year ending cycle, okay? So this is the time. You're going to feel that energy. I don't have to tell you. You're going to feel it. It's the time to let it go. Release it. Don't hold on to it. You're not hurting them. You're hurting yourself. Forgive them. Forgive them. Forgive them. And forgive them, okay? And then forgive yourself. It's okay to forgive people. It's okay to move past it. It's okay. You still are loving yourself. You still are worthy. You still are deserving. So it's okay to forgive others. You don't want to hold that negative energy inside, all right? It has to go somewhere. It has to turn into something. It will manifest into physical pain. It's not worth it. Let it go. Release it. Forgive others from the past, all right? The next do know that this is your payoff year, all right? So I want you to start feeling happy, deserving, right? Deserving and worthy of all the good things that are coming to you. All the good things that are coming to you. You deserve it. You're worthy. You know, you're beautiful. You're happy. So stay in that happiness, beautiful, high vibrational energy, because whatever you are receiving, you deserve it. All right? Last do know that compassion, love, and forgiveness play a major role in this year. You can't expect all these rewards to come if you're still holding on to some negative vibrations, all right? You got to be happy, right? You got to be be filled with love. You got to give love, and you have to forgive. I know I've said forgiveness so much, but that is so important in this year, because you are starting a whole new epicycle next year. A whole new epicycle, right? With new opportunities, new areas of interest, new people coming into your life. And you don't want to bring any of this baggage into next year. So do all that you can to relinquish it, and let it go, complete it, end it, forgive it, so you can move on, right? The next don't carry no bad baggage over to next year, right? We talked a lot about forgiving and transformation. Don't carry any negative baggage, any bad baggage, any bad habits over to your next year, right? The next do pay attention to the energies that is pulling you to heal old emotional wounds. You were abandoned by your father many, many years ago. You're grown now. You're still carrying those abandonment issues. This is the time to get your healing. You had a bad breakup. This is the time to get your healing, okay? You are going to be transforming your life, transforming your energy, transforming your whole being, elevating. You've been through a whole 9-year cycle. It's time to elevate to the next level spiritually. This is all spiritual. So knowing that, don't allow something to stay stuck inside of you, this stuck energy, these stuck emotions that are penetrating your chakras, all right, and allowing them to manifest into physical pain, right, physical diseases. You don't want that. You don't need that. So this is the year to get your healing. Don't go to a therapist. Therapist is going to talk to you. I'm not going to say that. That's wrong. Go to the therapist, right, but also get some deep diving cleaning. Get some modalities. Spiritual hypnosis. I do spiritual hypnosis, right? Get some Reiki, something that's going to work and go deep into the soul of these emotions, all right? This is the year of healing, guys. You got to heal so you can be prepared to step into your whole new beginning next year. And the next don't have any regrets. Remember, you are closing a 9-year cycle of experiences that was supposed to happen. They had to happen. They was for the greater good of you, to help elevate you spiritually. And now that you've gone through these experiences, now you're getting ready to walk into a whole new beginning, right? The next level. So don't have any regrets about anything that has happened in these 9 years. These experiences, these lessons were supposed to happen. The people who came into your life, you had contracts with these people. You were supposed to meet them, all right? So it's time to have that understanding, that awareness, that things happen for a reason. You meet people in your life for a reason. So now get ready to meet a whole new group of people that's going to help you go to that next level of experiences and elevate spiritually. All right. The next don't is don't be closed-minded. Right. Be open-minded towards others who have that you have some issues with, so you can resolve these disputes and these issues and move on. All right. So don't forget, the 9 influences you to step into the role of humanitarian. So this is the year the universe is going to be nudging you to give your time, your money, your energy, and attention and unwanted items, right, to a cause in your community or wherever you see. It could be an international cause, but whatever that is sparking your attention, and you want to be able to give these your time, your energy, your attention, right, your unwanted items, then do that. Don't hesitate, guys. And for the last don't, this is the best one for me. Don't dismiss your worth. I want you to step into this year feeling worthy and deserving of everything that is coming to you, everything good that is showing up in your life. You want nothing and deserve nothing but the best. All right, guys, this is your 9 year. It's exciting. It's exciting to heal this past 9 years, right? So you can step into a brand new epicycle. You step into your whole new beginning. You step into new opportunities. You step into new transformation. This is a whole new transformation of who you are, right? You step into a whole new life next year, that you will be able to plant new seeds for the next 9 years. Also, just don't forget that in the month of September is also your month 9, right? The month of September matches the year. The month of September matches the year. So just know that in the month of September, that could be a month of some loss in your life, some completion, some people walking out of your life. There will be some things that will be ended in that month 9, okay? So be prepared, be mindful, nothing to be sad about. Everything happens for the greater good of you, to help elevate you spiritually. And I thank you so much for watching this video to the end. And now I'm going to give you the colors to win in your year 9, right? Okay. So actually, this is a colorful year. This is a year where you can wear any color you want to make and give you success in this year. The only color that I ask you not to wear is black. Avoid wearing black, right? Because yes, this is the end of year. Yes, there may be some losses, but this is the year we want you to keep your vibration high and wear some high vibrational colors. Any color that you want to wear other than black. Black draws negative energy towards you. We don't want that. We want you to give some colors that's going to aid in your success for this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You have been so good to me. I hope that you have subscribed to my channel so I can produce more high vibrational spiritual videos that will help you win in your life in this lifetime. This is a wrap for your do's and don'ts personal year. If there was anything in this video that resonated with you, please hit that thumbs up and leave the comment below. Let me know how your last year was, and also let me know how this year is starting for you. Now, I want you to know that I am doing an online personal year event for the next 3 Sundays. The cost is $33, and all you have to do is show up. You get a workbook. You get more information about your personal year. You also get to ask me any questions about what's going on in your life, what happened last year, what could be for this year, and if you have any questions about what you should do, what you want to do, and if it's a good idea for this personal year that you're in. Okay, so all you have to do is look down below. There's a link below. Click on that link and we'll give you more information about the event, the personal year event. Also in that event, it will help you prepare for your vision board. If you're one of the ones who would like to create a vision board for the year, understanding your personal year and getting more information about your personal year, your essence and your pinnacle will help you create the vision board that will help you win for this year. Okay, again, my name is Cynthia Renee Meeks, and I am here to help you understand your path of life, your past life, and help guide you spiritually. Again, thank you so much for watching this video, and always remember to love, live, and forgive. Bye for now.
Okay, everybody, we are back. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through these numbers for you. If your life path number, and what I mean by that, if you take the month, the day, and the year of your birth, and you add them all up together, the sum total of what you get should be 2 digits. Add those 2 digits together, and the number that you get should be a single digit. Now, if you add the 2 numbers together and you still get 2 numbers, then you add them 2, and you end up with a single digit. I'm going down the list. I'm going from 1 to 9. If your life path number is a number 1, then the numbers for you will be 1, 5, and 7. Your challenge numbers will be 4 and 6. If you are a 2 life path, that's 2, 4, and 8. Your challenge numbers will be 1, 3, 6, and 9. If you are 3, that's 3, 6, 9. Challenge numbers 4, 7, and 8. If you are a 4, that's 2, 4, 8. Challenge numbers 1, 3, 5, 9. If you are number 5, that's 1, 5, 7. Challenge numbers 2, 4, and 6. If you are 6 life path, that's 3, 6, 9. Challenge numbers 1, 5, and 7. If you are 7, that's 1, 5, 7. Challenge numbers 2, 3, 6, 8, and 9. If you are 8, that's 2, 4, 8. Challenge 3, 7, 9. If you are 9 life path numbers, that's 3, 6, 9. And your challenge would be 4, 7, and 8. Now, everybody has, when it comes to the Zodiac, you have somebody that you in a 360-degree compatible circle with, which is conducive to the numbers that I just gave you. But there's also somebody you in a 360-degree incompatible circle with. And these are the people that you're going to have the biggest challenge with. For instance, I'm born in the snake year. I'm compatible with roosters and oxes, be it Taurus, Scorpio, or Pisces. But I'm in a 360-degree conflict circle with people born in pig years. If you are ox, you're born in an ox year, then you're in a 360-degree conflict circle with people born in years of the goat. And the list goes on and on and on. Now, you can get this information from a book that was written by a woman called Theodora Lau, L-O-U. And the name of the book is The Handbook of Chinese Horoscopes. Now, keep in mind, all this information that I'm telling you, all this comes from you, your people. But other people have gotten a hold of your sciences and making millions of dollars with them. And just like the situation with the Africans. The Africans had all the land, all the gold, and all the silver until the Europeans come up in Africa and set up shop and gave them Jesus. And they went to sleep with that, and when they woke up, white folks got all the land and they got all the Bibles. And we got all the Bibles and all the churches. Something wrong with that. Now, what I'm going to do is tell you about some of the situations that I have seen going on between two people that are together, wrong two people for each other. For instance, we had a sister when I was with my children's mother. She had a cousin, and the cousin had a girlfriend. And this brother here, he about 6'2". Wasn't no big old guy, just tall. And little girlfriend, she about what, 4'7", 4'8", no short woman. He goes out and get drunk, but when he come home, he want to beat her up. She got the house clean. She done cooked. She ain't cheating on him. She in love with him and all that, but he want to beat her up. But one day, she came around the house. He said, I'm tired of him beating me up. You know, I don't know why he keep doing all this right here. Beat me up like this. I can't take this no more. But lo and behold, after that, he come home. He got drunk every time. He drunk. Beat her up. But this time, he hit her in the side and cracked her ribs. And she hobbled in the kitchen, got some Crisco, put it in the pot, put it on the stove, and cut it on. After he get through beating her up, he go in there and get in bed, go to sleep. She cooked the hot Crisco and brought it in and poured it on him. Burn him up. Smoked up the whole house, smoke all out the door, smoking up the whole neighborhood. She burned him up so bad, they had to bring a helicopter in and fly him out to the burn unit down in Orlando. They ain't calling no names now. Two wrong people for each other. And I mean, this kind of stuff, I've seen it go on. There was a guy on the east side of our town down here in Florida. This guy, you know, he's West Indian. He likes to go out and sit under the tree out there with the old men and play checkers. And a lot of times they get a little money out of the pocket, they go to gambling. And this one guy, he out there, he playing checkers, he swear he the man. But this boy here in this West Indian was whooping him left and right, man. It took all his money, and boy, he was hot. And he messed around and told him, say, yeah, you got my money and stuff, but you need to watch your house. And when he said that, the guy trying to figure out, well, what is he talking about? And he thought about it. He said, wait a minute, because I got this woman up in this house now. Instead of him going to work, he doubled back, couldn't find out. She in the house in the bed with the boy that's living behind the house. He go to work, she open up the back door, let him in. But this time, homeboy, he come back and walked down the hallway, eased in there, and looked there and then seen both of them in the bed having sex. She seen him, but the guy didn't see him. And she tell him, get up. He in here. And the boy run out of the house butt naked, left his clothes and everything. She tried to run out there too. She got a snatch the sheet off the bed, got a wrap around him, but she didn't make it no further than the sidewalk. He come out there behind her. He then went down there and got a axe, hit upside the back of the head with an axe when she fell on the sidewalk, head leaning off the sidewalk, chopped her head clean off right there on, I ain't gonna tell you what street, but killed the innocent. They give him 75 years. I'm doing construction work. We down there building the Jaguar Stadium, and a friend of mine, he said, you see that dude right there? I said, yeah. He said, he just got out of penitentiary. I said, how you know that? And he told me the story about what had happened, what he had did. Wrong two people. Math ain't right, because we go on what we see, no thinking involved. We just, oh man, he handsome. I'm going to get with him. She fine. I'm going to get with her. Well, who you getting with? That's my question. Who are you getting with? And I'll be back with some more of this right here. Y'all hold on. We're going on to this next segment, because we're going to come back with some more of this right here until y'all get this in right. Y'all got to get this right, man, because I'm tired of this mess. Every time I look around, man, you know, shooting, stabbing, all this, man, shoot.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the number 9 personal year in the 9-year epicycle. And epicycles are 9-year periods, 1 through 9, that people experience in cycles over and over again in order. And so we're going to talk about the 9th cycle, the 9th year of the cycle. And this is a chapter. This is the last chapter of the last 9-year cycle. And so before we begin with the insights, I'm going to introduce myself as a professional numerologist. I've practiced numerology professionally for the past 4 years, and I've been in self-study for the past 14 years. So
let's begin with a calculation. And it's super simple. So you need 3 components. And so it is the day of birth, month of birth, and the year that you want to get the personal year number. So I'll use my birthday for example. It's the 28th of November. And then let's use 2021. So so the goal of numerology is to calculate everything until a single digit. So with those 3 components, I gotta divide those into single digits first, and then sum it all back together until you get a single digit. So I take 2 plus 8 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1. That equals 17. We got to keep adding until a single digit, and 17 is not there yet. So I take 1 plus 7 equals 8. So according to that formula, in 2021, I am experiencing the personal 8 year. So if you didn't understand that, that's also in the description to check out the calculation. So let's begin with the insight of the number 9 year, which is the year of retirement and graduation. So it is the year to complete the last 8 years of your life, and there's a higher calling of the number 9 year to close everything up before you move on. This is the year of transition between the next year. So this is the year where you close all your doors. So let's start with the 8 points. So when it comes to ending the 9-year cycle, more people tend to examine the past and the future. So just to figure out, oh, so like this is just making conclusions about just making sense of what happened in the past in their journey and what to take with them towards the future. Things unravel as well that probably have been hidden in the past 8 years, and you conclude what to do next or what to close doors on. And also it tends to be the year of joy and bliss, as well as grief and sadness over losses. So just see it as a positive year of you're just getting rid of weight. You're at the very top of the mountain, so like you're climbing this mountain years 1 through 9, and 9 is at the very peak. You're at the very peak of the cycle, and before you get down to the mountain, you gotta release some weight. You gotta let go of things that are holding you back or would crush you in the next cycle. And I don't even have to tell you that this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There are gonna be endings. Either you finish things off, you could be quitting a job, or maybe somebody fires you, or a relationship ends, or you pick up new better habits, or you just mature. This is the year of maturity as well. So when it comes to peak, so this is the highest peak year of any other years, I would advise you, this is the year to just desire peace, to close some things, and that peace starts with your original family. So there's a lot of forgiveness, growing up, being more mature. When it comes to your relationships with people, maybe developing empathy or compassion or acceptance and tolerance as well. And a lot of forgiveness comes with your family, your original family, your parents, your siblings. When it comes to the past, like just realizing, oh, so like they did the best that they could, or that's all they knew. Forgive them for they don't know what they don't know kind of mindset. And it's also very good for you to end relationships that already served their purpose. I do see people breaking up in the number 9 year, or divorcing, or they get on to the next level and they close, what's it called, tie the knot in the number 9 year. So there's a lot of big decisions, big life event decisions made in the 9th cycle. And also it's a good year to move on. Forgive, then move on. Let go, then move on. Release and surrender, then move on. So that's just the really, really healthy energy to spend in the number 9 year. Interest. So let's move on to that next point. I do see people get more interested in the arts, in education, in humanitarianism, like charity, as well as ethics, even international and foreign travel, as well as moving to a new place, and spiritual disciplines. 9 tends to be a spiritual year, so people seek out they do seek out international connections. They seek to understand things. They seek to understand universal laws, or they work towards what's true. Like I'm seeing some opinions of society that they don't resonate with me. Maybe I don't resonate with these opinions or these religions anymore, and I just want to follow something that's higher. So higher purpose year, there's a calling, so it's for you to surrender to, and it will feel good as well. Then personal success, I would say listen to your inner wisdom in the number 9 year. Listen to your intuitive insight. Seek out your own wisdom for counsel, or you can seek out people who are wise and ask for advice in the number 9 year. But you do tend to be in more leadership positions in the number 9 year, and people do seek you out for your experience to get advice. And seek deep insight as well. That could be through philosophies, through spiritual laws, universal laws, higher principles. It's all about learning more about knowledge or wisdom when it relates to people universally, instead of sticking to like one small perspective. So it's about broadening your mindset in the number 9 year. And also, it's a really good year to let go or give, releasing energy. So releasing energy and letting go, that's a big picture. So in the practical world, it's a good year to donate. Donate your old books, your old clothes, help out a good friend. This is the year of service, where you're more inspired to, like, I'm going to help my friend, my family, my community to benefit them. So it's all about selfless service in the number 9 year. You probably find that out more. That could be from you helping, giving your energy, or you do something related to teaching or guiding others this year. Then when it comes to work, finish off what you started. Finish projects that have been postponed. Number 9, again, is about ending. Like, I've been putting this behind, or like, I have 2 more tasks to finish. I gotta get them done. I'm gonna complete them this year. And also, I encourage you to teach, to do any public speaking if you want to do that, as well as broadcast TV, and selfless service when it comes to work or anything related to your work. Then when it comes to business, this is the year where you can use your business to guide others. You can use your business to help raise money for charities. There will be opportunities for nonprofit, charitable, or international work for you to get yourself involved in. That raises your vibration. Volunteer work, helping others. I also know that helps people manage depression or relieve depression, is to help another life out in the number 9 year. And another thing for business is to buy or sell for the next chapter. So I'm in my number 9 month, and this is the month where I just give out a bunch of myself. I don't have energy or the time to like sell. It takes more time to do that, so I'm just giving away things that benefit the people around me or my community. So that's what's happening. And international business is very good for you to get involved in, like connect with the world, because number 9 is all about universal connection, universal laws, universal interests, and getting involved in foreign affairs as well, to do any work with truth or justice or service. Then finances, let's talk about that. So it tends to be the year where your abundance that comes, it equates to the service that you give. In the past 9 years, counting this year, and also expect inheritance in the number 9 years. So you could have family members who give you things out of unexpectedly, out of sudden. My sister is giving me her old phone. It's super nice. And when I see her soon, and yeah, inheritance. Then last thing I want to talk about is what to be aware of. So I would say be aware of being intolerant, because number 9 is the number of enlightenment, the opposite of that, or the shadow side of that, is being ignorant, or being very, ignorant. And it's all about like unlearning a lot of things as well. And I would say develop compassion, get some studies where you learn about how to understand people's behaviors and minds, so it could help you develop compassion, and understanding before you make quick judgments about people. So it's all about practicing acceptance, not necessarily acceptance, but understanding. Then it's easier to accept. And be aware also of having the inability to see the bigger picture. So in the number 9 year, there's a lot of high ideals, high standards, a high vision on taking personal responsibility. You probably have opinions on how people should live their life, or how they should be motivated by. So it's all about seeing bigger pictures of things. And also in a 9 year, there tends to be more like creative interests, more artistic or creative interests instead of practical matters, instead of step-by-step matters. So like if you want something done, like do it instead of just talk about it. Then last thing I want to talk about, what to be aware of, is holding on to the past. So number 9 is about endings, it's about desiring peace, it's about letting go of the weight that held you back. So just know that if you were holding on things towards the number 1 year next year, that's going to hold you down so bad. It's not going to be healthy for you as well. Just really finish things off, just desire peace this year. So that is it for the number 9 year. Please let me know if this makes sense, if it resonates. If you have any questions, also leave it in the comments below. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, you can check out in the description my website and feel free to book. So that is it. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
All right, everybody, we're back. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that this information is helpful to you, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't leave home without it. I'm not out there messing around in the blind talking about I'm finna do nothing. I might see a young lady and stuff that I like, but gotta have that math. We gotta do the math. I gotta have the math that let me know what I'm dealing with. You know, I see some pretty women out there, shapely, all that right there, but they gotta do the math. We can't be going out half cocked and we just gonna take a chance. No. We ain't taking no chance. We ain't taking no chance. I gotta have the math. I met a woman one time, and she refused to give me the math because in her mind, she's thinking I'm trying to find out how old you is. I can care less about that. I don't want to know how old you is. I want to know who you is. I want to know who you is. And that let me know whether or not I'm going to invest any time in dealing with you. I'm not going to, there's no such thing as me dealing with a woman I ain't got the math. If you see me with one and we do something, I got the math. I might try to, I feel like my learning days, as far as that is concerned, is over. It's a brand new day for me. You know, I'm dead serious about this thing right here because I done did the experiments. I know what works and I know what don't work. I don't care what nobody tell me about, well, man, you can't, man, I ain't studying you. You go ahead on over there, get hit in the head. I don't want the police to my house. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get stabbed. I don't want you throwing no hot water on me. I don't want you. I don't want you cussing me out in public. I don't want you acting a fool out in public. I don't want down on me. And you supposed to be with me. Me and you supposed to be building. We supposed to be doing some things. But I got the wrong number, and you out there acting a fool, and I'm investing in it, trying to fix it, the situation between us. Oh no, 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 no! I ain't got time for that. Just give me the math, I'll do the rest. Uh, let me tell you about this situation here, because man, oh my goodness, I have seen it. Oh man, I'm here to tell you, man. I had was dating a girl, and she had a cousin, and cousin had a boyfriend, and boy, they fought like cats and dogs, and she got pregnant. That girl got all the way up. I think she about 6 or 7 months pregnant, and they riding down this busy street, man. You got to be going more than 30 miles an hour going down there, you know. And they arguing and fussing and fighting in the car. This brother reached over car door where she was and pushed her out the car, and she fell on the street in busy highway and tumbled all over the cross street, lost the baby, and then he gonna turn around and tell me, man, I love her, man, but she just don't, man, you don't love nobody and push him out of a moving car and almost kill him. You can't tell me about you love nobody. Man, look, I ain't trying to hear none of that business about love. Love ain't that crazy. It can't be. You infatuated, think you love or some stuff, but either way it go, I know the math was wrong. The math was definitely wrong in that situation there. And I've seen it over and over and over, and people get stabbed, shot, and the same thing go for the brothers. I mean, you got a brother. Every time I look around, it's you and your partner. Okay, well, who's your partner? You know, what's the math on your partner? That might let you know why your partner stick to you like glue. You want to check everything out. Your business partner, especially if you go invest, your road dog, the sister that you're dating, and you telling me, yeah, we have our fights and stuff, but man, I'm going on to marry her. Like if I marry her, the fight's gonna stop. No, 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 no. You can't. I can't see how you fussing and fighting every week, and the police all up in your business. Everybody outside looking down there, and all this here foolishness going on. And then you talking about well, we gonna go on to get married, and cause you got this dream in your head about you gonna live happily ever after. No, that's not reality. It ain't gonna happen. If you're fussing and fight, why don't you do an investigation on your identity? Who are you? Who is she? And why don't you do some of that and do some thinking, because see, this information that we're discussing here now has everything to do with thinking. You have to think if you're dealing with this information here. And it's always going to benefit you, because the more you know, the more you can do something with. You want to put worthwhile information in your mind. You want to pay attention to what's going on around you and the people that's together and stuff. You know, you got your homeboys and you and your home man. That's my road dog and stuff. And the next thing you know, you and your road dog then got you involved in some stuff, and you all up in prison. But either way it goes, I hope y'all have gotten something out of tonight's broadcast. I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing down. We will be coming back with part 2 of this, because I ain't through with this right here, man. This is very, very important. And I think it's time for us to start doing this right here. Take your religion and put it to the side for a minute, and let's take a look at some the science. Okay. All right. But anyway, until next time, I've been your host, Tarhaka Amana LB, and y'all have a good evening. All right?